So a lot of good in there. The thing I would say for us with the ball curving too far left right now, right? And then really the fats and thins when you go, is we have this pattern, this is very common, where, you know, we said the elbows get a little bit apart early, the arms bend a little bit early because of the lack of turn. And then within that theme to the top, even if you're pretty good here, we see it late and across, or late in the backswing, the club gets across the line. So the elbows get bent, all right, very far apart, the arms bent. This trail shoulder starts to go very internally rotated, kind of like a flying right elbow look, right? And you actually throw in a little bit of late pronation, which is palm down towards the ground. And all of that acts to get this way, right? If I went supination, palm up, that would point the club over here. Yeah, bingo. Whereas you actually go this way, which gets it across the line. So the combination of those, which you could argue, you know, the root of the beginning of that has to do with the lack of turn. Right? We did a video with TJ Eaton not long ago. We said, hey, a lot of players get this bent up to the top in an effort to get the butt of the club far enough to get enough power when I don't turn enough. The more you turn, the easier it is to keep the arm structure, right? So anyway, when we get to the top, from about here to the top, we need to feel and add in pronation of your lead hand, which means your left palm going down, right? With your left hand, yeah. So you'll feel your left palm point more down and your glove low go up, which to you will feel like the club's very laid off, very horizontal. And then with your right hand, the same feel from about takeaway to the top would be adding supination, which will mean your palm is up towards the sky. Always to fix these things, you have to do the opposite of the issue and exaggerate. So your issue is club too far across, right, and long. And so the opposite of that, from here to the top, would be to feel like you're pitching the shaft really horizontal, like John Rahm, Sergio Garcia, Lee, yeah, exactly. It's gonna feel to you like you're here, and on camera, it's gonna look perfect. The key here, because we see your pattern goes across, and then it's always gonna get steep early from that position, and always gonna need to go it late, right? So then the toe's a little behind the heel, and then from there we have the high handle, lots of face rotation. And you do a great job. Like, you do a really nice job doing it. It's just, you know, can Mickelson play consistently every single week, week in and week out? Usually no. Hot, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, right? So what we want to do is eliminate the across the line steep shallow by just keeping the club on point. This is the sickest thing about this game, isn't it? All you and I want to do today is swing the club on just a beautiful circle around our body, and that's going to require you to feel like you go like this. Just to swing in a circle. Yeah. Sick. So let's go through that and talk about from the takeaway to the top. Again, the key being, we're not going to be able to fix this steep early unless we actually start to shallow it during the backswing. Hey guys, so it's that time of year again for us at CogornoGolf.com. Our prices will be going up as of July 15th. And I want to make sure you're aware of this. So if you sign up before July 15th, you lock in our current prices forever for as long as you're a member. So currently our prices are $69 a month or $495 for our yearly price. As of July 15th, they will be going up to $89 a month and $595 for the yearly. You guys have showed us awesome support, and to keep up with our demand, right, we have no choice, but eventually we have to raise some of those prices. Myself and all of our coaches are there 24/7 for you to send in your swings, right? We give you that monthly feedback that you get and answer all the questions you have. I'm telling you guys, it's awesome. I wish I had this back when I was playing to use as a resource. You get all of our practice plans. You get a specific plan from a coach, what drills to do, what priorities to focus on, what not to focus on, how many reps to do of those drills, when to move on to the next piece. And guess what? We don't just leave you go do them. We're there. Ask us questions. We help you guide through feels. All of us have been working on our own games. We know what it's like to take your game to the next level. You're going to absolutely love our community there. July 15th is when those prices go up. If you want to lock in that lower price, you've been thinking about joining, I urge you to do so. I'm very confident we can help you with your golf game. We'll put the link to Cogorno Golf down below. Let's just talk like the arms and hands part first. Let's get you to take the club to about kind of halfway back. Good. So from this position, let's say you normally are okay. Now, minus the turning part. Let's say we're not talking about that for a second.
Okay.
Let's say in terms of your arms, hands, club, you're okay from here. From here to the top is where I believe you're going to need to feel these pieces, and that's going to be the arm rotation. So this palm of your hand is going to have to feel like it starts to point down towards the ground.
Yep.
I mean, that should feel stupid, just like horizontal, right?
That does, yep.
Now from here, or if you don't like this left palm feel, you might feel your right palm point up towards the sky. Bingo.
Yep.
Now as you start your downswing, you're going to feel just a little bit more of those same movements.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
Let it go down more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because our normal is here,
Tip it over.
tip it over. Yeah. So we have to go with your left hand, palm down, palm down.
Okay, like this.
Yep. So it's palm down back, palm down through.
And then,
With the right hand, it'd be palm up, palm up. So it's almost like, I would think about this as like a two-part thing. Yeah. For me, I like to feel the left palm part personally, but we can feel right hand. So I would feel from here to the top, okay, I'm feeling the left palm point down towards the ground and the club go horizontal, but now I'm not done. In transition, I'm also gonna feel the left palm point down and the shaft go horizontal. So when we look at, if you take your setup, we look at impact, right? When we looked at the video, this is the angle the club's got to get on to hit the ball, right?
yeah, it's got to be under here like this.
It's got to be in there. So when you go up to the top of your backswing one time,
With the new backswing.
let's do a new one, yeah, just nice and slow. And then, yeah, exactly. So all I'm looking to do is get this shaft angle, if we drew a line on it,
Yep.
as close to parallel to this as possible.
Underneath here.
That would be even at the top,
Oh, sorry.
even at the top. So from here, that would require the least amount of plane shifting. Would you agree?
Yeah.
If you went with the wild over the top, when we looked at
Right
it,
here, and I got to.
you got to really work.
I got to really loop that thing.
It can be done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But man, I would rather us say, hey, this is the angle the club's got to get on. Let's get that thing parallel. So for you to feel like the shaft, for you to feel like the shaft is parallel to this,
So.
you need to feel like it's way horizontal.
Like this almost.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So for you, when you leave here, when you practice this, you would be like perfect to get this, to do this wall drill. So imagine I had a wall like, we'll say 3 feet behind my heels. We said at the top, we want the club head, in fact, let's move over a little bit this way, Mark. We want the club head to be behind my heel line, right? That'd be the checkpoint. Hey, Eric, how do I know if I'm doing this enough? The club head should be behind my heels at the top of the backswing. So if I was recording from down the line, what's laid off enough? Well, here's the club head in the middle of my feet. We were kind of toe line, right? I want the club head behind the heels. I also would like the club head to be behind your hands. So from the top, the club head's behind even if you stand just to the right of that, Marky, that might be your best angle there. So we go at the top and we look at where my hands are. See how the club head's to the right of my hands? Club head's to the right of my hands. And then at impact, the club head is to the right of my hands, always. So I always want to maintain that relationship to make this utopia easiest golf swing we want to have, right? So what I would do is I'd have the wall, I would go back to takeaway height, and now I would pitch the shaft horizontal and get the club head to hit the wall. That's theoretically 2 or 3 feet behind me. So now I'm on the wall, boom. Now as I start my downswing, I would ride the club head down the wall until my arms get back to left arm parallel, and now I can go through. So I'd go hip high, hit the wall, you could edit in a wall maybe, ride down the wall for the first foot, and through. Now that simultaneously fixes 2 things. It fixes your across the line and fixes your steep downswing. Ultimately, I don't care where you are at the top, neither do you. We care that you get steep here, right? So to fix that, we just get it right on plane here, right on plane here. Just shallow it earlier, shallow it in the backswing. So when you go, let's do takeaway. Now from here to the top, we said there's arm rotation, right? But there's also these wrist angles. So at this point, this right wrist for you should be about as bent back or an extension as you can get it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see how you had to change your elbow there to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now as you start down then,
Keep it there.
it has to.
Yeah.
As soon as you
Can't go this way.
that's it. As soon as you go to internal rotation, your trail shoulder,
So it's got to be this.
yeah. This has to be max extension.
So I gotta get back here and then I gotta be there.
Yeah. So it's your right palm would be pointed up towards the sky and bent back as much as humanly possible in transition.
Like that.
Yeah. So if we go up to the top.
Keep it there like that.
Yeah. Now again, we're
Of course, I
exaggerating, right?
understand.
Yeah.
I get it, I understand.
But you see your shoulder. As soon as you go internally rotated, you lose extension.
Yeah, so I get on top of my
That's it.
shoulder and my elbow. So if I go this way,
That's it. External rotation, traverse extension go together.
okay,
Yeah. Yep.
okay.
So the key for us is going to be from here to the top. Boom, boom.
Getting it to drop this
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Now,
Come back that way.
what we need to do is figure out for you, for your brain.
Well, it makes it feel that way.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you try and do it, you still kick this way.
I go this way.
That's
yeah.
right. And so always the first part of the solution.
It's almost like a Dustin Johnson thing. I like this.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of it's the wrist. It's the wrist angles. It's the arm rotation. It's the shoulder rotation. All three of those pieces together.
So this arm has to rotate this way.
That's it. And more on the way in transition.
And more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like to the wall,
And then
ride
more.
down the
Let me
wall.
try that.
Yeah.
Let me try that.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it enough. I'll let you try one, but I think you're gonna kick this way.
Okay.
What I want to see now is like, at what phases do we need to feel this to actually see a change on there?
Yeah.
One of the nice ways you can do to learn this, although difficult, is to pause,
Okay.
is to fully freeze at the top.
Okay.
So let me just demonstrate one so you can
Okay,
see this. If we go from here to the top, takeaway's neutral. I'm adding arm rotation to pitch the shaft horizontal. I'm gonna pause, so my club head's on the wall, theoretically. I'm gonna feel more of those arm rotation when I start down. So my left palm points more down.
Yep.
My right palm points more up
Yep.
here as I start my downswing. And so what I would do is go here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you're gonna be too far under plane when you do this because you already shallow it late, because now we have a double whammy.
Yeah, so I'm getting shallower and I'm making it more.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we need to go shallow, shallow first.
Right.
You're gonna hit fat, thin push hook, so that as we go here, we can go shallow and then get back on plane, and that's when it'll be, that's what the pros do. Shallow early, steep late, right? So I'm gonna hit one at the risk of me looking goofy, so you don't mind looking goofy. We're gonna go here, pitch it horizontal, pitch it more horizontal. And this should be like fat, thin push hook when you do it right. So we'll go here, to the wall, pause, and then let it ride down the wall. Yeah, so good set, a little pushy, but that was solid enough. But if we watch that and I record that now, if I'm you, I'd go back and look at that and say, did my arm go this way?
Did I let it roll back?
That's right.
I gotta get it.
And so when you're doing it, like let's say for the next 90 days, you know, if you hit 20 wiffle balls a day,
Right.
and you record it even 25% of the time that I'd like you to,
Mm-hmm.
over those 90 days, there's no way that you wouldn't change that.
To shallow it out.
There's no chance.
Yeah.
You'd hit the wall and ride down for a foot and hit. The only way it wouldn't work is if you didn't actually have the wall,
Mm-hmm.
or you didn't record it.
And and you're not getting the feedback.
There's no way you wouldn't change that
Okay.
if you were looking at it. Now, what might happen is you might go and be like, how do I get to the wall, right? Or like, oh, I thought I hit the wall, but then you look on video and you didn't.
Right.
But if you have the video and you have the wall,
Right. Exactly.
it feels very difficult to me that you wouldn't be able to effectively change that without us having to dig as much into the micro.
Yeah.
Because like when you go play golf,
Yeah.
I would like you to play like club to the wall,
Up to the wall.
hit the ball.
Right.
You know,
that's all
simple.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Back here and then hit it.
And then boom. But right now when we're doing, unless I'm saying yes or no and you're looking at video, we don't really know. You can't feel it.
Right.
The wall will give you the feel every
I'm
time.
getting an imaginary picture of a wall back here. I'm trying to
Yeah,
get it.
and then get a freaking concrete wall in there that you could hit with the
And
club.
it'll
That should